Hey Raunak,
Hey Aarushi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so good to be back on our lives.
Yes, back to our life, you and I together.
Yes, you and I together. Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our live. As promised, we are always ready on Friday evenings with some entertaining content. I don't know if it's safe to say entertaining, but if it's learning, it should be entertaining, right?
Right. We hope so. It's
We hope so.
entertaining. Although we can guarantee that you're going to learn. We can guarantee that. Yes.
But we make things fun, Aarushi. So
Your confidence is great.
So obviously it is going to be a fun session as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's welcome everybody. Keep joining.
Yes.
Send this link to your friends so that they also join us.
Yeah. All right. So we are just like looking at the comment section right now. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Pallavi Patel. Hello, Satvi. Raunak, you're on mute, right? If you're trying to say, yeah. All right. Hello, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so we'll just, let's not waste any time. Let's get quickly started with our live. So today we want to discuss actually something pretty interesting, and it's not covered in a lot of schools when they teach. It's not covered in the sense it's covered, but it's not covered like you don't know what it means. Like there's a proper label to it or there's a definition to it, and it's known as phrasal verbs. Okay. So we know what verbs are and we have heard what phrases are. So what are phrasal verbs? It sounds complicated. It is not really. So essentially what it means is that when two words come together and they become a different word altogether, so they lose their original meanings and they become new words. For example, to pick up something, right? Pick up is a phrasal verb. Pick is a different, like it has a different meaning, right? It's to just pick. Okay. And up is to go up, right? So when it comes together, it means to grab or to lift, to grab something. So it's pick up. So that's how pick up is a phrasal verb. So we have discussed a lot of vocabulary, right? We have discussed idioms in the past. Today we wanted to discuss something which is much more common when you speak in English, and they are phrasal verbs. So I'll get us started. Hello, I just...
Yes, we have
hello,
a few hellos in our comments.
Yes.
Welcome, Pallavi. And it's Neeraj says hello. Hello, Neeraj.
Hello.
And Satvi is here. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. All right. So this was just like the introduction to phrasal verbs, and I'll get us started. So a super common phrasal verb is to back up. To back up, right? To have backup or somebody backed someone up. What that means is to support or defend somebody. Okay. And it's a phrasal verb. So for example, if let's say you're a student, right, and this is something that might have happened to you. So this is a sentence that you can make. When the class was making fun of me, or when my friends was making fun of me, only the teacher backed me up. Right? So that's a sentence. Like this is how you can use backup in your sentence. You might not know that backup is actually a phrasal verb. It is not really like one word. It's actually two words coming together, back and up. Yeah.
Right. And it is very important to have someone who backs you up, right?
Right. That's true. It's always encouraging to have someone back you up.
Right. Yes, right. Definitely. Right. And most of the times we have heard this, especially in terms of some machinery or anything that does work. So to break down. So breaking down is when something stops working. So it just gives up. And especially in terms of machines. So we could say that this machine in, let's say, Domino's, the machine that makes sausages, keeps breaking down always. So that's one more phrasal verb.
Right, right. So in the comment section, Niraj has said to give up on something, hold on, excellent. These are all phrasal verbs. You might not know they are called phrasal verbs, and you might be also using them in your everyday vocabulary, but these are all phrasal verbs. Thank you, Nick,
Yes.
for that, Niraj. Hello, Abhishek. Hello from Lucknow. So hello. He said hello from Lucknow. Shashank, hello. Hello, Pradeep. Thank you so much for joining us. Glad to see you back. All right.
Yes,
So,
welcome back, Pradeep.
yes, welcome back.
Also,
Right.
one more thing, like Neeraj has added some of the phrasal verbs he knows. We would like to know what all phrasal verbs you guys know. So keep posting those in the comments as well. All right.
Yes, please. Okay, so Raunak talked about the breakdown word, right? Like it's the phrasal verb. There's another phrasal verb that's used pretty commonly in its act. It's call around. So you can call around to find a nearby mechanic. Like that's how it's used. So call around is also a phrasal verb. So call and around are two different words. That's how you can identify a phrasal verb in words. You can clearly see that they have two very different meanings when they come together. That's a phrasal verb. So that's how you can identify these words.
All right. So this makes me think of another one, and we use this very often. And these are two words, calm and down, right? And when used together, it is to tell somebody, okay, relax, don't be irritated, or don't be nervous, just calm down. So this is also another phrasal verb which you guys can use in your daily conversations. It's very, very useful.
Right. And like many must be also using it, right? To calm down. Like, hey, dude, calm down. But it's actually a phrasal verb and we didn't even know that it's a phrasal verb. Right? Yes. Then we have to call something off, right? To call something off. So the party was called off, the event was called off. The I don't know, the bus journey was called off, like something just called off in general. So calling is when you call somebody, right? And off is, so the two together, they becomes call something off. So it's usually not call off, to call something off. That's how it's used.
And here, it's a very good example, as you said earlier, Aarushi, that both the words lose their meaning when they're used together here in phrasal verbs. So they have their own meaning. So that's how we need to remember this.
Yeah. So it changes, and they also together the meaning gets changed. That's how you can identify and use them. Yeah.
Right. All right. And there's one, and it's really catchy. So to check something or someone out. So we also use this often, and sometimes it could be in some flirtatious senses, and it is used in reference to a person that he was checking her out, she was checking him out. So when you find someone attractive and you are looking at them, so you can say, okay, I'm checking them out. So that's how you can use it. And in other senses, it's also used to verify a person or a thing, but mostly in the previous sense. So you can say, I'll check the contract out, or I'll check out the contract as well. So it could be used in any sense regarding a person or a thing.
Right. Right. And so next we have the phrasal verb clean up, right? To clean up something. So like to, in general, like to our hockey team cleaned up at the tournament and went home undefeated. So to be extremely successful, that he cleaned something up. So it's a phrasal verb, although not so commonly used. Or if you ever come across this phrasal verb, you'll know that's how it's used. It's clean something up or clean up. So there's a difference between that. So it's to clean up and to clean something up, right? So clean up is to sort of have to be so successful at something that you have cleared all your challenges, right? And to clean something up is to clean a general area. So both of these are phrasal verbs, and you can use them, but differently, of course.
Right. And when you say clean up, it reminds me of another one, cheer up. So this is very simple, and in this one, we don't exactly lose the meaning of cheer here. So sometimes the meanings are lost and sometimes they are retained. So here I would say the meaning of cheer is retained here, and to cheer someone up is make them happy, and especially used when someone is already sad. So I'll say, okay, I cheered her up, or let's say I like dancing. So dancing always cheers me up. So we can use it in that way.
Right. Like next we have is to come around, right? So to have a change in opinion or to see a new point of view. So for example, I never liked seafood. Let's say I've always loved seafood, but let's say I've never liked seafood, but came around after trying a particular dish, right? So I came around, I changed my opinion because I had a different experience. So to come around something. Raunak, we have some interesting comments coming in for us.
Yes.
Neeraj has said to figure out. Yes, to figure out something, it's a phrasal verb. Get up, Pradeep has said get up, put on, show off, bring up, look after. Yes, Pradeep, you're right. Neeraj has said to gobble up something. Yes, I use this quite often. It's a great phrasal verb, and it's like it's so descriptive to gobble something up. Like you've not eaten it calmly. You've like eaten it in a hurry and because you were so hungry. So yes, to gobble up is a great phrasal verb. Pradeep has also said check out, take over, break in, hand over. Yes, these are all phrasal verbs. Then Neeraj has said keep up with something. Yes. Raunak, would you like to take over with Pradeep's comment?
Yes. And Pradeep has also said chip in and come across. Yes, correct. All right then. Let's move ahead. So another one we have is come between. So to come between is maybe disrupting or disturbing something, and especially a relationship. So let's say I and my best friends, we understand each other so well that no one can come between us. No one could ever come in between us. So this is used in, especially in terms of relationships.
Right. So like just think about it. Come has a different meaning, right? To just like somebody to enter, or like that's the meaning. And then between is to just be in between, to be in the middle of something. But come between then changes both the meanings and is to disrupt a relationship altogether. So that's how much the meaning has changed in phrasal verbs. Yep. Next we have come down on. So we have 3 words now, not just 2. It's come down on. And what that means is to attack or punish harshly. So for example, in a sentence, it can be something like, ever since last month's accident, my parents have been coming down on me greatly. So they have been very harsh on me, have been very strict with me. And yeah, so come down on.
Right. And there's another one, has the same 2 words, come down with. So this one means to become sick. So if I catch fever, so I will say, after sitting in rain for a few hours, I came down with a fever. So that's how we use it, come down with. This is an interesting one. And I want you all to please put in some comments and tell us how can you use these. You can use this one, to come down with. And put your own sentences in the comments below and we'll read those out. To come down with.
Right. Okay, on a similar note, come out of. So we did come down on, come down with. Now we are going come out of. So happen as a consequence of another event. So yeah, it sounds like it's again complicated, but it's not really. So for example, I missed a bus ride. So at least some good came out of the thing that came good out of it was that I was able to stay home and rest, or something like that. Like when something happens as a consequence of an action, that is to come out of something. Yeah.
All right. So, and there's another one, come up. Also, guys, don't get confused. We'll be posting all of these in the description after the live so that you have all these noted with yourself. So next one, as I said, come up. This means to happen or occur. So how I can use in a sentence it as don't worry about a problem until after it comes up. So until the thing or the situation actually happens, don't worry about it. So that is come up.
Right. So just calm down and don't worry.
Yes.
Right.
You'll have all these noted for you.
Yes, we have all these noted for you. Then we have come up with, right? To come up with something. Super easy to understand. It's to think of an idea or to come up with a solution. To come up with a solution or to bring up a solution, right? So yeah, it's to come up with something like Aarushi, like for example, if you're speaking about me in third person, so it can be something like Aarushi came up with a solution to the challenge. So yeah, it's to come up or to bring about a solution. That's how you can use it.
Right. Enough of the come up with and come on. Let's move ahead, and we can use another one is count on. So this is an interesting one as well. So it means to depend on something or to be able to rely on something or someone especially. So you can use it in a way like if I'm making a mistake, I can count on my friends to warn me to not go ahead in the wrong direction. Or and there's a song as well, you can count on me. So tell us whoever has listened to this song and if you like it. And if you haven't, you can go on and listen to this English song as well. It's a good one. And yes, to count on something or someone.
Right. This is a super sweet one, right? To count on somebody. Yeah. So next we have is to dive into something. So imagine like also another way to remember phrases or idioms is to imagine what is happening with them in them. So for example, dive into. So what it literally means is that you want to, like, let's say you dive into a pool or you dive into a river, but here you're not talking about diving into a water body. You're talking about diving into a task, right? Like how you would dive into a water body, you're diving into a task given, or you're diving into a project that you want to do. So you're occupying oneself, like yourself, with something, right? You're giving your everything to it. And it's just not about your work, right? It can be something as simple as I'll dive into the new show when I have the time. Like I'll binge watch it later. I'll dive into it later. Right? Dive into.
Okay. The next one that we have for you is to dress up. And I think all of us know the meaning for this. And it means to wear nice clothes or maybe to put forth in the best light. So let's say I dressed up for the awards ceremony very beautifully. So I want the best dress that I had. So dress up. So I put in all the efforts to look good. So dress up.
Right. We have some comments here. Just a second, we're checking. Yes. So Neeraj said cheer up. Reminds me of chin up. Yes. They have also said, I came out of my fear of speaking in public. I came up with a solution to tackle this. Correct sentences. Yes. Thank you, Neeraj, for framing sentences. So we can also correct it for you, right? I'm counting on you guys to learn English. Yes, Priti. Thank you so much for your support. That's exactly how you use it. And Neeraj has framed the sentence, don't count on greedy shopkeepers for discounts. Yes. Great. Like Neeraj and Pradeep, you can also send us your sentences and we can help them. Like if you're doing a great job, then we'll just let you know. And in case they need any improvement, we'll correct them for you. Yes.
One thing I would like to add, Neeraj, you said don't count on greedy shopkeepers for discounts, but count on your own abilities to get the discounts. So always remember that.
Yes, absolutely. Count on yourself. Hopefully you get a bargain. But yes. Okay. Then so the next phrasal verb we have with us is to end up, right? To eventually reach some conclusion or destination. So after, for example, if somebody is contemplating about whether they should get a job or not, After thinking for a day, she or he ended up taking the job. So that was the conclusion. Like that's what they did eventually, not immediately, eventually. Yes.
Right.
So that's end up.
And another one that we have for you is to fall apart. So this can be used in two different senses. One is to break into pieces, and the other one is to suffer from mental or emotional distress. So for the first one, we can say my new dress completely fell apart after just 2 washes. So it was just tattered. So it was in pieces, right? So that fell apart. And the other one could be after a very traumatic experience, Rohan fell apart. So he was in some emotional or mental trauma, mental distress. So these are the two ways this fall apart phrase can be used.
Like a very common phrase or sentence you must have seen, like in one of the memes on the internet, like my life is falling apart. The fall apart is a phrasal verb. So next time you can comment, hey, did you know that's a phrasal verb? So yeah, don't do that. But yeah, that's what you can do. The next phrasal verb we have with us is fill something up. So this is quite literal actually. Fill something completely. Like for example, she filled her glass up to the brim. So brim is the most like the capacity of the glass or the bottom, the top. So she filled her glass up to the brim. To fill something up. That's how. Not fill up, but fills dash up to anything.
Right. And next one is pretty easy, and everyone uses it almost all the time, to find out. So the meaning of find out is to learn or to discover. So let's say we'll wait until the next TV episode to find out who is the killer, who is going to kill Eve. So that's something you can use to find out in places where you want to say that I'll learn about it or I'll discover more. So there you can use find out.
Yes. Oof. Hopefully you're able to find out what you want to. That's the next thing we have is to get something across, to communicate or explain something clearly. So whenever we have fights with somebody, we are unable to get something across, like we want to. So it's to communicate. For example, the person spoke for hours, but his audience was unable to get but he was unable to get anything across to the audience, right? So he might be speaking for a long time, but the audience didn't understand anything. So it's to communicate something effectively, get something across.
Right. Okay, so the other one is to get ahead. So this means to succeed or to progress in life, in career, in business, or it could be related to anything. So we can use it like you will never get ahead at this company unless you follow the rules. So if you want to remain in this company, you want to succeed and get some progress to your career remaining in this company, so you'll have to follow the rules. So get ahead. So you want to get ahead in life. So you want to progress and succeed in life.
Right. Again, on a similar note, sorry to confuse you, but these are all pretty similar but different at the same time. So they're a part of the same family. So we have get ahead and then get around. So when you're traveling, it's to travel from one place, like place to place or one place to another. So to get around, right? Let's say you're in a city where it has a lot of traffic, example, Mumbai. So it's impossible to get around the city without a car. It's impossible. Or it's impossible. Yeah, it's just to get, it's as simple as to get about, like to just sort of travel from one place to another. It's to get around. Yeah.
And Aarushi, you're talking about Mumbai. I think it is impossible to get around the city even if you are in a car.
Yes.
At that time, it's more difficult because
as soon as I said that, I was like, wait, like it's just impossible to get around, full stop.
Yeah. Right. And if you have a car, it's even more difficult. So,
right. Yeah, it's even more difficult. That's true.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. So I think, Raunak, we are done for today.
Right. Just one last. Since we were talking about get around, this reminds me of another one, which is get around to something. So this means to do something eventually. So I'll get around to fixing the table after the playoffs. So I'm doing something else, but I will eventually get around to it. So I will eventually be able to do that thing. So maybe sometimes when we're procrastinating things. So, and my mom has told me to, let's say, clean my room. So I'll tell her, okay, I'll eventually get around to cleaning my room as well. So, yes, to get around.
I was going to use the same example, like the way it's so common. Like I was also going to say clean the room or clean my
It's an everyday story in all our houses.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So guys, there are a lot more phrasal verbs, right? We'll put the words that we are using currently in the description, but there are a lot more words. We encourage you to do your own research, to look these words up because they'll help you increase your vocabulary and improve it greatly. Yeah. All right then. So we close today's live now. Have we covered all the comments? Hello, Arpit, thank you for joining. Hello, Abhishek, thank you for joining. Thank you, Santosh, for joining. Thank you, Pranali. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining and commenting. This is a great time chatting with you. And please we have a lot more lives on our channel, a lot more videos. We post pretty regularly. So please turn on your notifications so that you know when we post anything on YouTube. And also follow us on our Instagram. We post a lot of content there as well. And yeah, anything from your end, Raunak?
Yes, and if you like our content, please share it with your friends as well. You can share this particular video with your friends as well so that they can watch our live. Post it's done, it's going to be available as well. So, and all these phrasal verbs that we've used right now will be posted in the description. And I want all of you to please put in your favorites in the comments section.
Yes.
And you can use it in a sentence as well. That will be great enough. So go ahead, watch the description again, and you can post your comments.
Yes.
Post the live is done, not right now. In the video's comments.
All right then.
Right. And Neeraj says, let's wrap up the session. Yes, he has used a phrasal verb again. And yes, we are wrapping up the session. We are completing it, finishing it. So yes, for the ones who did not know the meaning, wrap up means to finish things, to complete things up. So yes, we are wrapping up the session, Neeraj. Thank you so much for that suggestion here.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Yes, see you soon. And you guys should come on this channel every Friday in the evening to watch our entertaining and informative content, mostly.
Yes, mostly. More informative, we try to make it fun for you.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Keep liking and keep sharing our videos. Keep watching us.